First to the ex-CIA chief arrested in Panama. Robert Seldon Lady, a former CIA-based chief in Italy, was convicted in the 2003 abduction of an Egyptian terror suspect from a street in Milan and sentenced by an Italian appeals court to 9 years in prison. This after being tried in absentia in Italy for the kidnapping of a Muslim cleric. At the behest of Italian authorities, the country of Panama detained Lady this week. This morning, though, U.S. officials told the Washington Post that Lady was on a plane en route to America, meaning he won't be sent back to Italy to serve time. The trial of Lady, who has since retired from the CIA, brought the first convictions anywhere in the world against agents involved in the CIA's extraordinary rendition program, a practice said to have led to torture. Now, the terror suspect, known as Abu Omar, was abducted in February 2003, transferred to the U.S. military base in Italy, then to Germany before being flown to Egypt. The cleric alleged that he was tortured in Egypt, and he was later released. Joining me now to discuss is Colonel Morris Davis, former chief prosecutor at Guantanamo Bay and a professor of law at Howard University. How are you doing today?
Good, thanks.
Now, thank you for being here today in studio. So the U.S. is avoiding extraditing this CIA operative accused of kidnapping in Italy. Meanwhile, it has been working overtime to get its own fugitive, NSA leaker Edward Snowden, back on U.S. soil to face charges, and it's demanding that Russia extradite him. So what does this mean? It's like I said in the lead, it's a little do as I say, not as I do.
Yeah, your little caption there was entirely accurate. Hypocrisy.
Yeah. Hypocrisy.
Because that's exactly what it is. I mean, we like the rule of law when the end result is favorable to the United States. But if it's not so favorable, then we just tend to ignore it. And so certainly demanding that Russia send, Edward Snowden back or we'll boycott the Winter Olympics is a bit hypocritical when, we're shielding our own people from accountability that have been convicted, in a court that we recognize as a legitimate court, and we're shielding them from accountability.
Now, you experienced something like this firsthand as a prosecutor at Guantanamo Bay, correct?
Yes.
Yes, and now Italy has faced some blowback from the Latin American countries for its alleged role in diverting the plane of Bolivian President Evo Morales, and now Latin American countries, in solidarity with Morales, have removed their envoys from Italy, among other European countries. So why isn't the U.S. listening now?
Well, because we're the big kid on the playground. Who's going to tell us that we can't do it? So again, we're great at preaching to others about the rule of law, and you heard the president yesterday on Mandela's 95th birthday talk about, honoring, accountability and respect for the law. But we ignore it when it's inconvenient. So that's certainly what we're doing here with Italy, where they're our lapdog when it comes to when we need a favor. Blocking Evo Morales, a head of state, was an extraordinary step, for the countries that forced his plane to land, believing that Snowden might be on the plane. But then, when they ask us to extradite people back to their country, we've got the same thing, with Amanda Knox.
Right.
Where a similar case where they've asked that she be extradited back to be retried in their courts, or the 23 Americans that were convicted along with Mr. Lady.
Right.
So, when it works to our favor, we like extradition, like Abu Hamza al-Masri that we got extradited from the UK here. But it's supposed to be a two-way street, not a one-way street.
Are we going to get a lot of pushback from Italy on this? It seems like they were doing what we asked for with Evo Morales, but this time we're not doing what they're asking for.
Right. Well, again, I think the Italian government tends to be kind of like our government here, where the different branches may not be acting in total concert. Certainly the legal system, has asked for Amanda Knox, have asked for the CIA and the Air Force officer that were involved in the extraordinary rendition of Abu Omar to be sent back to serve their sentences, but I'm not sure that diplomatically that's necessarily in concert there, because again, they helped block Evo Morales at our request, so it's again a diverse picture there.
To your knowledge, have CIA operatives ever faced justice in other countries after breaking their own sovereign laws?
Not that I'm aware of. I mean, certainly, we've held John Kiriakou accountable here, but we held him accountable for talking about CIA programs, not for actually carrying out a CIA program. But, we've certainly worked very hard to get our people back to avoid accountability, and there's certainly no accountability here when they come home.
What does this case mean for global CIA operatives moving forward?
Well, I think the lesson I would take away here is it's best to vacation domestically, whether you're the President Bush or Vice President Cheney or Robert Lady. That these people that have been involved in these post 9/11 programs where we've ignored the law, that if you leave the safe comfort of the United States, then you're at risk of others that don't turn a blind eye, just letting you pass through. So I would stay within the U.S. if I was them.
That's the takeaway for all former CIA operatives. Do you think that Mr. Lady, well, great name by the way, will ultimately serve prison time in Italy?
No, I seriously doubt it, unless he, again, is foolish enough to go to a country that might actually honor the law. You know, Italy followed proper procedure. The conviction of the 23 has been affirmed by the Italian Supreme Court. They submitted an arrest warrant to Interpol. Panama acted on that warrant. So they did everything by the book. You know, we've been the impediment to the rule of law. So I seriously doubt that you're going to see him or any of the others in an Italian jail.
Colonel Morris Davis, thank you for your time here today. We really appreciate your insight.